Que lo que, mi gente. This is your boy Rick Diesel. Y regresamos nuevamente to another episode of the MIGO Experiment. And I know today, ladies and gentlemen, the scenery looks a little bit different. That's because I have a special artist with me today. And he's very particular. Very particular. His name is Cruz de la Cruz.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that introduction.
Dame, hermano.
I'm feeling good, ¿y tú?
Loco, un placer de tenerte aquí, man. Es un placer de estar contigo, my bro.
Yeah, nah. I've been looking forward to this, bro. I've been looking forward to being on this podcast with you. I know the first time we interviewed you, now I'm on the other side.
Oh, my God, man. Listen. I'm the interviewer.
Yeah.
So that was a special moment.
Yeah.
It was very hard to get, for you to get some personal things out of me, man. But I got loose. I got loose. It's always easy to ask the questions, but it's tougher when the questions get asked to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus, man. So Cruz de la Cruz, man, I want the people to understand that I don't think that you're the typical artist.
Yeah, I don't believe so either, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First of all, ¿de dónde tú eres, mi hermano? Explícanos de dónde tú eres.
Yeah, so
where are you from?
So I was born in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mexican. My family's from Janga, Veracruz. Shout out to Janga, Veracruz. It's something that I do keep like proud of that.
Yes.
It's the first free time the Americas. I always love to say it. I'm very connected to my roots, and so yeah, bro. I keep that up high. Mexican.
Wow.
Yeah, Mexicano.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect. And that's the other thing too. So you're a Mexican artist from the DMV. You said you were born here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say I got shipped, but
shipped.
I got sent to Mexico very early too.
A word?
Yeah.
How long did you live there?
Probably like I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years. Like when I was young,
Right.
My dad was that kind of. Well, my dad was thinking about having us here and then taking us back, and now we have our papers to come back whenever we want. That was his idea.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
but
beautiful.
then they sent us over there. He wanted my grandma to at least see us, and we stayed over there. Then he realized, let's bring him back. And so my mom came back again. She had to cross the border again. And then it was my uncle who had papers. He went to go pick us up like after a couple of months after that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What there in Mexico has stuck with you today that you experienced there? Like, what experience do you still carry with you?
I want to say music.
Music.
Yeah. So when I was over there, my grandfather was actually a guitar player. He was a self-taught guitar player. And I remember he would sing to us back when he had 2 arms, because in Mexico he had a surgery and they had to amputate. Is that the right word? Amputate?
Yeah.
Cut off his arm?
Yes.
Yeah, they had to amputate one of his arms. It was like a medical mistake. And but I do remember very vividly, he would keep us in, like me and my brother and our other cousins. He would take us to his like little shed, and he would start playing the guitar and just singing. And I remember just the fact that he would just be a happy guy, just playing his guitar. But I didn't know him like when he was at his prime.
Right.
But based on the stories that my dad told me, was that he was actually, on radio stations. He was actually doing that. So coming out here, it's like I didn't pick up the guitar. I don't have the skill for that.
Yeah.
But like just being able to write music and just have fun with music, like express myself with music.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things that I brought back from like back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long have you been making music, brother?
I want to say like it was kind of corny, but I've been writing since maybe like 8th grade. I don't know how long ago that was, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
no worries. It's all good.
Yeah, but like actually rapping on beats, I want to say maybe like 2011, maybe 2011, 2010, 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, but back then it was like I didn't have like money for studio time, and people were charging like $80 an hour for studio time. I get it, I totally get it. Yeah, but back then I was like, how am I gonna pay for this? So I would just record stuff like on my phone. When I would listen to it, I would be like, oh man, like this sounds so good. And I didn't know like a lot of different things that I know now. It started probably, like I want to say 8th grade. Corny music, but it was there. It was there.
No, I can definitely tell. Make sure to listen to all the music that this guy has, because you can definitely tell that he is not a brand new artist. He's not a rookie. He's working super hard, man. Very talented guy, man. My brother, so today we are here to talk about your new record that I just heard. It's insane. I love it.
I appreciate it, bro.
Oh man, it's called La Cancha.
Yeah, La Cancha.
La Cancha.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with the name La Cancha? Why La Cancha?
Yeah, so it started in Mexico. I was same cousins that my grandfather used to play the guitar for. We got older. It was probably like about maybe 13 years, Chino, maybe 13 years, maybe. I want to say, I don't even know how far that was, but since 2003 that I haven't seen these cousins. Oh, it was so unfortunate that I went over there when my dad passed. And in like maybe 2 days, I want to say, we just clicked, like something. It was just like, it's like blood llama, algo así, like la sangre llama. Yeah. And it was just like we've known each other for so many years. Like we just caught up, we linked. And we would just be talking, like vibing. They would show us stuff. And one of the things that would always happen would be that we would always go into the car, like I want to say maybe like at 8 p.m. We would always just go into the car, listen to music, vibe, talk, drive to the corner store. Maybe go out into like El Pueblo, like the bigger city, like Janga, the actual city. Just go get some tacos, go explotar un par de pesos. That's what it was.
Right.
And so all that, when I was leaving, I said, man, I'm going to miss this. Like, I'm going to miss this environment. They made me feel like, it just felt like, I felt so liberated. I felt like I was actually out there. Like, we were just like big kids playing on this playground that was Mexico. Like, we would go anywhere.
Yes.
And so I said, man, like what comes up to my mind? Like, I just got inspired off the vibes. So the song goes like, yo me desaparezco en la noche, because we would always disappear. They would be like, no están los chamacos, no están los chamacos. We'd be like, oh, están en el carro metidos, por ahí andan, no sé, lo que sea.
Andando por la calle.
Pagando y todo. So I would be like, all right, so yo me desaparezco en la noche, ponte pila, estamos adentro del carro en directo a explotar un par de pesos. Rolando de la mari, ay, qué rico que me siento, brillosa las cadenas, estilo duro like cemento. And then it says, no le bajo, ando en mi glory, because I was in I felt like we were in our glory. Ando quemando llanta en la V8 con los brodies, because we were burning rubber, we were doing whatever. Hoy salen todos los perros, un desmadre, flow cabroni, el mundo es nuestra cancha, y yo estoy balling como Kobe. I'm not talking about balling like I'm balling. I'm talking about the word is our court.
Sí.
Y yo estoy balling, like we're playing around this whole world like I'm Kobe. Like nobody could tell us nothing. So it's like, you're talking can I curse in here too?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
So I'm talking about like my shit too.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like also like thinking of the vibes with like that certain group of people that makes you feel like we got it type shit. So so then that's how that song came about. Came back over here and I recorded it, and then Slater came in one day. And
you're featuring the homie Slater.
Yeah, shout out to Slater too.
Right.
Shout out to Slater. Yeah. So he came in out and he was like, "Oh man, I like that. And then he just started mumbling. And mind you, this guy doesn't really speak in Spanish or doesn't make music in Spanish. But the way how he was just mumbling, I was like, bro, like, try to think of some shit like that. And then he just started going in. He just started writing his whole thing, went in the booth. And when I started listening to it, I was like, man, he sounds like, I had people telling me, like, he sounds Panameño, Dominicano, Puerto Riqueño. He doesn't sound like what you would think. So that's how, that was coming out, bro.
Yo, man. I mean, it's a fire song. The video is crazy. I love, like, you invited me to come through for the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that was dope even seeing that, like the making of it. I was like, yo, this is a real deal video right here. He did it in a secret warehouse.
Yeah.
Lights everywhere, models everywhere, drinks everywhere. I was like, this dude, he's on some superstar stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, bro. I appreciate you inviting me to that, man. That was really crazy, man.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming, bro. Like, I really did spend a lot on that to make it into the music thing. Hay que invertir, right. You can't just go around like half-assing this, half-assing that, or expecting like free work here, free work there. Like, nah, you gotta really, if this is what you want and this is what I want, like, I've realized I gotta put my money on it. And so that was like, this video I want to say is probably like my most expensive video, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to say it's my most expensive video.
And that's the thing, because you got some dope videos too. I'm not gonna lie. Like okay, you're talking about this one being expensive, but the one I seen before that one, y'all need to go check that one out too. What's the name of that track?
Ignition.
Yeah. Ignition. Yeah. Oh my God. I want to ask you, man, where do you get this? So you told me where you get your passion for music, where it initiated from your uncle. He used to play guitar for you. Grandfather, excuse me.
Yeah.
My apologies. Where do you get this intense energy, this focus, this ambition, where did that come from? Who birthed that in you? Or where did you see that got you inspired, that said, you know what? I need to work hard for my dreams. Even if it matters me losing my job, whatever happens, but I'm gonna roll with the punches. Like, where did you get this? Where did you learn this from, man?
I want to say 2019. I was my first time traveling since 2003. I feel like things happen for a reason in life. Right. And so I was so anxious to fly out the country. And I was thinking about all the worst situations that could happen. Because I was going to Panama, then to Brazil. I was going to Rio, but I heard so much stuff about Rio because of the Mundial that it was dangerous or whatever.
Why did you want to travel?
Because a friend of mine, actually it was because Chino and my brother went to DR.
Okay.
And that made me say, if they're gonna travel, why won't I travel? Why can't I travel?
You felt the FOMO.
Yeah. And then I said, man, you know what? I'm not just gonna go to one country. I'm gonna go to two countries.
True.
And I had the opportunity to do it. Right. And I ain't never know if I was gonna do it or not. So I said, you know what? Me dejé llevar de un amigo mío que shout out to Sierra, se llama Sierra, un puertorriqueño. He was like, I'm gonna go to Panama and then to Brazil. Come. Wow. You're gonna be with me. I travel solo, but you're welcome to come. I said, all right, bro, let's go. It was unfortunate that I booked my tickets later than him, so we didn't sit together, but we were on the same flight.
Okay, cool.
So I walk into the airplane seat. This is my first time on a plane, and there's 3 seats, but I didn't think of too much of it. I was like, all right, I guess it's one row. I mean, you could still sit there. It doesn't matter. Right. I sit on the edge right here next to the window because I just want to record, right?
Yeah.
And another guy is boarding the plane towards the end, and he was like, yo, you're in my seat. I was like, oh, snap, yeah, all right, it's cool. And in my mind, I was like, fucking bitch. Like, I want to sit next to the shit. So he sits right here, and then he's just looking out the window and like nothing. Then he picks up a book, he's reading. As the plane is taking off, I'm like, yo, motherfucker, aren't you excited? Like, let me pull out my phone. I was like, yo, bro, let me get this right quick.
Yeah.
I put out my phone like in front of his thing. He was like this with his book. All right, cool. Boom. The flight to Panama was about maybe 6 hours.
6 hours?
Yeah.
From where?
From D.C.
D.C. to Panama?
Yeah. About 5 or 6 hours.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so I didn't talk to this man for like maybe half of the flight there.
Right.
It wasn't until this other lady comes over here and she speaks to him into what I thought was Portuguese, because I was going to Brazil to learn Portuguese.
Right.
And she comes and speaks to him, and then after she left, I just wanted to start a conversation. And I asked him, I was like, hey, were you guys just speaking Portuguese? He was like, nah, it's Italian. I was like, oh, Italian. He was like, yeah. I was like, so where are you from? He was like, I'm from Italy. I work in the U.S. Well, I travel to the U.S. sometimes, but I live in Panama. And I was like, oh, really? Like, what do you do? Started telling me game. This man had like a whole business. He was like, he was a millionaire.
Yeah.
So I started asking him, I was like, so what book are you reading? First book, he's like, I recommend you read this book, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. So he starts telling me about the book. He started telling me that this was his 3rd time reading it. And he was just reading it again. And I was like, so tell me a little bit about the book. He was like, I can't tell you too much about it, but I want you to experience it for yourself. If you're really interested, you're going to go and find this book and read it. I gave you the title for it. Boom. I was like, oh, snap. All right, cool. I told him, so what is Panama like? What can I expect? Like, is it bad? Like, where am I going to stay? Like, he was like, I could go ahead and tell you this right now, but you're going to set an expectation in your mind. It might ruin your whole trip. I want you to forget about it, live the moment, and experience it for yourself. All I can tell you is, if you come out here looking for a good perspective, you will find good. Yes. But if you're out here thinking negative, you will attract that.
You always get what you're looking for.
Yeah, facts. And as soon as we left, he said, enjoy your trip. I know you're going to have fun. He shook my hand, and I got off. As soon as I step off there, I was like, man, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Started going everywhere, living life.
Yeah.
Then stayed there for a week, went to Brazil. When I went to Brazil, I wasn't even scared about Rio, like all the stuff. I was
all
like,
that
nah.
Story people
Yeah. I was like, it's the same thing. Like, you walk around the corner, whatever. Like, you can get killed anywhere. You could get bad shit can happen anywhere.
100%.
Yeah. So went out there to Brazil.
And quicker if you're focused on that happening to you.
Yeah.
You're bringing that energy to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, when I came back from Brazil, I was like, man, I just compared the way how I live here to like some of the poverty that I saw out there in like Brazil and the favelas and everything.
Yeah.
And I said, man, like I'm taking things for granted, for real. Like, there's some things that we take for granted out 100%. Here, where out there people is hustling.
Yes.
So I said, there should be no reason for me not to chase it like 10 times harder. So go harder. And I always, like, I read that book, Awaken the Giant Within. That book helped me out a lot. Think and Grow Rich was another book by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
It just got me interested into reading. And I know I don't show that off a lot too.
I love the fact that you say that. A lot of artists don't say that.
Yeah.
But a lot of great artists read books.
Yeah. So I started listening to that, listening to podcasts, and started feeding my mind.
Yeah.
So my mind started, like, the more I was feeding it subconsciously, I without even knowing, like, I was executing to the point that now it's just like I need to keep doing. Like, I just want to keep doing. Like, I have fun. My hobby is doing stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So that's where I think it came from. Bro.
Hey, man, I love it. I love it. Your energy is infectious. It's infectious. I have to tell you that, man. You performed the other day at the National Mall, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
That was beautiful, bro.
How the heck did you get that?
There's this guy named Rick Diesel.
Stop playing.
So there's Ari. Shout out to Ari. Ari was looking for some people, and you know, Dia de los Muertos is actually the theme of my song Por Nosotros. Yeah. So when my dad passed, I wanted to do a tribute to him. So, like, the first part of Por Nosotros is actually real live pain, really, from that situation.
Yeah.
When I reached out to her and I showed her the video for that, she was like, whoa, like, that song almost made me, like, I think it had her in tears. She was like, because it's so powerful, like, and she's Mexican too, so she understood everything that I was trying to say.
Makes sense.
And at the end, it says que la muerte no nos roba los seres queridos, sin embargo, no nos preserva eternamente en el recuerdo. And with that whole message, that's basically what Dia de los Muertos is, to really celebrate the lives of the people that have passed.
Yeah.
And so she told me, she was like, that she wanted me to, you know, do my set there. And she wanted me to open and close it. And I felt like, I was like, wow, like, that's pretty tough. Like, it felt pretty good.
Yeah, man.
And, you know, it was a very beautiful experience just to be with the people celebrating the culture.
Yes.
Because I'm not sure about other countries, Latin American countries, they celebrate Dia de los Muertos, but I know it's big in Mexico.
Yeah, 100% big in Mexico.
Yeah, so we, you know, after I did that, I was like, man, like, that was huge for me. And it was beautiful
performed in front of the White House,
yeah,
bro. That's
I think I saw Biden with his binoculars.
You saw Biden with his binoculars? He had a little Mexican hat. He said,
yeah, bro, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, bro, but
that's so dope. That's so dope, brother. So, man, can you tell the people where can they find your music? Where can they hear you? Give them your Instagram and talk to them some more about La Cancha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you guys can find me anywhere at Chris de la Cruz. Chris de la Cruz on Instagram with 3 Z's. Reason for 3 Z's is because they sleeping on me, but I'm going to wake them up. Chris de la Cruz on Spotify. Everywhere is Chris de la Cruz. La Cancha is out now, featuring State of the Genius. It's going pretty hard. I'm going to keep promoting that. 2023, and this is going to be a testament to myself. I always like to leave little testaments here.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be doing stuff to bring the DMV together. I'm not talking about just like the Latin stuff, but like I'm talking about like the English market with the Latin market. And there's a lot of like they claim, you know, they say that there's a lot of division in the DMV, but I feel like they're not looking in the right places, maybe. Yeah. So 2023, I'm going to bring it all together. And I know that's possible. I threw a show for the release party La Trompeta.
Yes.
That was a beautiful moment because I remember when I was putting the show together, it was like a backyard show and it gave it like an old school type of vibe.
Yeah.
People were telling me, yo, so are the English rappers going first and then the Latin, or first the Latin and then the English? I was like, nah, bro. We putting them together. And the reason was for supporting each other.
Yeah.
Because everybody was going after, like they were all randomized and it was all like, I really saw people that ain't speak no Spanish bopping their head, just feeling the energy from other artists that were killing it.
Yeah.
And I saw obviously the Latin artists, they were born here, so they understood, like, you know, all the English stuff. Pero like, it was beautiful to see that.
Yeah.
And that just made me think and realize, like, yo, 1, I have a pretty good pull, and 2, I'm just going to work this. I'm going to figure out how to make this happen, because if we could create that scene here, they're doing it mainstream sometimes. Yeah. If we do it here right now, it's beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful, and I think it's gonna get more eyes on us. So I already said it, spoken it to existence. I will see you in a couple of months.
That's a very dope vision, man. That's a very dope vision.
Yeah.
I see that happening. I saw that, and I can see it happening even more, man.
Yeah.
On bigger and bigger scales and bigger and bigger levels, man.
Yeah.
You can find me, your boy Rick Diesel. You can find me on Instagram at Rick Diesel, Rick_Diesel, and MIGO Experiment. Please follow the MIGO Experiment podcast. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think about Cruz.
Yeah.
How you feel about his music. And it's a pleasure. It's been a great pleasure interviewing you, my brother.
I appreciate you having me
Thank
on,
you so
brother.
much, man.
Nah, I appreciate you.